Come on.
So that's a couple.
It's right in the DI.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I'm glad you got pictures. I'm glad I told her to get
We
pictures.
are now live
For
streaming.
you, but because I.
Everything you say and do will be recorded. 1 minute to the start of the meeting.
All recorded. It's all over now.
You gotta follow your process. That's all. But no, I'm glad you're able to get pictures. Because that too, because the neighbor dispute, I told her to get pictures if she could do it safely.
There's a lot more coming. It's not just
Right, right.
Oh boy.
It's right in the
God, there's a breeze from somewhere.
right in the pump. It's sewage.
No, I said. So I'm sorry. No, you got to talk to that way.
Another day in the life. This you should have heard the other one I have.
We're not voting on any public hearing early.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our work session for 6/15/26. This evening, we're going to have a couple of presentations from some developers. Is David Stutz in here? Okay, you're going to be going first, and then Mo Cahill in here as well? Okay. David, you are up first. You want to come up here, give your name and address to the town clerk, and then you can address the town board on what you're presenting.
I believe we have a PowerPoint presentation to go along with this.
Okay? Is that ready to go?
Dave, I've got the wrong laptop. I don't have the HDMI. Do you have the project?
Everything we have is on the screen there. Sorry about that.
All right. You need a couple minutes because we could go with Mo first. Mo, are you ready to go? Okay, why don't you come up here and then we'll come back to David.
How you doing? I'm Mo
Could
Khalil.
you hang on one second?
Sorry.
You're good? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'm Mo Khalil from Big Mo's Tires located at 5151 Genesee Street. And we were looking to build an extension to the rear of the building. I have the architect's drawings and all that stuff if you guys want to take a look at it.
Yeah, do you have enough copies for the board members?
Yes,
or
I
you just- Okay, if you could just,
I think. I
smaller
hope
copies, or
They're all big, very big. Is that it?
you guys want copies? Or you want to hold it up, show us what you're going to do?
Sure.
It might work.
I don't know why they're this big. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, so this is the, sorry, this is the building we have now, right here.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to extend it, this is Transit right here, and this is Genesee Street. On this side, we're trying to extend it towards the rear for like tire storage, or where we can store our garbage tires and the tires we're gonna sell. So it goes 20 feet off of the furthest corner, it goes 20 feet to there, and then it goes 40 feet across.
Okay, and what's back there right now?
Nothing, just blacktop.
Okay, and do you own the land back there?
Yes.
Okay. Matt, anything to,
I mentioned with the owner that, it is within the area of Bowmansville. It's right at Transit in Genesee. They're a little ways out from full-on production if they were to apply for site plan approval. It may mesh nicely so that it could be first one out of the closing of the moratorium and into the new legislation.
okay, so obviously nothing can happen until we finish up with our Bowmansville
We'll finish up with
moratorium.
the work at hand, and then I'm anticipating this, again, this is the first project right out of the gate.
Okay. Is any of that impede upon what we've been talking about in the moratorium?
No, it actually lined up with the earlier discussions where, this is already in a generally commercialized area, Transit Road. It's fully developed. It's just expanding an existing space.
Board members, any questions?
That business is right off of Transit Road, correct? Right.
Yeah,
It's right on the corner.
The
It's
front is, it's
Yeah.
facing Transit, and then it's right on the corner of Transit and Genesee.
Yeah, the frontage is right on. So that's,
Special use permit was issued maybe a meeting or two ago.
Yeah.
And got them in operation.
yeah.
Is that going to be enclosed or is it going to be outside?
It's gonna be enclosed.
Enclosed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for bringing that.
Next time I'll bring a smaller copy.
Appreciate it. Or you bring
Yeah.
something that goes on the
Oh,
computer.
yeah.
That's
I
true.
did that too.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Mr. Stutz?
Now I think we're.
Okay.
My name's David Stutz. I'm from LaBella Associates. We're going to be the lead on this project for New Enterprise Stone and Limestone Company. This project is basically going to be replace an existing hot asphalt mix plant with a proposed drum plant at their location on 5466 Genesee Street. The company has been around in Pennsylvania since 1924. They acquired Buffalo Crust Stone in the early 2000s, and they've been working out of that facility on Worley Drive for the last 25 years. So what they're currently going to be doing is going to be currently upgrading their current facility with a new drum plant. Next. Next one. So the existing zoning is light industrial zoning within an aggregate sand and gravel overlay district. That's the blue area you see there. The star represents where the facility is going to be located within the site. I'll note that there's the yellow area is a residential zone and the red area is a light commercial zone. Next slide. The overall aerial view of the site, the red area will indicate exactly where the plant existing is, and we're going to propose a new plant. So if you forget that area right there, so this is going to be the existing plants right here. Currently, they drive in from Worley, load up in here, and then drive back out. The new plant is going to be in the exact location, same location.
Size is the same?
Yes,
What's there?
pretty much, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see here. Next slide. So in this slide here, a portion of the existing plant and buildings currently cross light commercial and light industrial property lines located at 360 Harris Road. So if you look on the light here, this is the existing property line that's attached to this parcel. Okay, that extends here. This area is zoned light commercial. This area is zoned light industrial. And in order for us to proceed with the project, we're recommending a property line shift from the east end closer to the west side, and then annex this parcel in with the light industrial to avoid any type of property lines that are crossing through existing buildings or proposed buildings or structures. This way it'll all be on one parcel. Next slide. This slide shows the existing asphalt plant. The equipment will be removed and disassembled from the site. Next slide. This slide shows the location of the proposed new drum plant with the setback lines that you can see in here. Because now this is a residential district, there's a rear setback line of 75 feet minimum because the height of one of these is going to be over the 30-foot threshold. And in regards to this area over here, the setback over here is going to be 50 feet. There are no structures over 30 feet on this side of the property for residential. That area is marked with there's a current electrical transformer and employee parking, I believe, is on that side. Next slide. Seeker short form has been completed and submitted with our application. It is important to note that there are no planned changes to the surrounding site or the equipment. The equipment will replace the existing equipment that's currently on the location. The newer equipment will be more efficient, and the project itself will not result in any potentially significant adverse environmental impacts. In conclusion, we're seeking approval to move the project forward, and then related with this, requesting to move the east property line off of lot number 8204-1-5 and annex that portion of the 5.04 acres of that said to lot 82.04-1-2. And I believe the next couple of slides are just some pictures of that's the silo and the drag conveyor. That's the highest portion. That port right there will be located along the residential property line, but it's over 120 feet away, so it's within the boundaries of the setback.
Okay.
Then the new
Matt?
drum plant and some bins.
Comments? Matt?
I provided some comments to the planning board. The overall project is intended to reduce an existing nonconformity. There's 3 different batch plants on the site. They're going to consolidate it, make it more energy efficient, filtration. So again, they're reducing the intensity, but they're upgrading the wares of the facility.
Okay, does it affect the neighbors in any way? Is there more noise than there was? Is there any changes that are going to affect the
I think we have to
neighborhood?
get through that review process and go through the analysis of the project as presented.
Okay. Board, any questions?
No, that's what I was going to ask.
No questions?
No? Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we're going to go around to our department heads, see what's going on in the different departments. We're going to start up front today. Diane, what do you got?
Nothing, we're still working, still collecting town and county taxes. Almost, no day goes by without funds coming in still. That's about it, thanks.
Okay. Brad, what do you got for us?
I don't have anything, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Shutt?
All right, just a couple of things, just updates more or less. For Warner Road, construction scheduled to begin late in June, be completed by the end of August, or at least before school starts. Walden Pond Turf Field, bleacher and building site prep complete, bleacher pad is poured. The building is under construction, bleachers are expected to be on site June 18th.
If I could jump in on that one, we got a call from the bleacher people. They're going to be here with the bleachers on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We're going to be helping them offload from the trucks for the bleachers themselves.
Okey-doke. Opera House, New York Forward, finalizing the bid package for the stairs and sidewalk. Hopefully be able to send it out on bid date. The bid opening date would be July 14th. And I think that the bid date's in the agenda for today for setting that. Police training facility design team has met on site to review existing facility. Design development underway. Westward Park Turf Field. Design has been initiated. Westwood Splash Pad reviewed quotes with committee. Selected a preferred vendor, waiting state contract. Isa Park CDBG grant, supporting tonight. Contract to be executed per county requirements. And then 9 Graceway RFQ was prepared and sent out. Quotes are due June 30th.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're waiting for 9 Graceway for the RFPs to come back.
Yes.
To do the outside work for anybody who's following that one. As soon as we get those back, somebody will be selected, and we'll get out there and make sure that work gets taken care of outside of the house. Okay, Matt?
Well, I have no statistical numbers other than what was provided on Friday, but I will say that I'm going to be speaking with legal counsel on several enforcement actions throughout the town, and the board will be included in some of those conversations. I think it'll be it's long overdue, some of the enforcement actions that have been coming, and I just want to make sure that we do it right the first time.
Okay.
And then move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, what do you got for us?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I have 2 resolutions up tonight that I really appreciate full board support on. They're for 2 promotions. One of them take effect beginning of September for a detective, and one of them is a captain's position to replace the retiring Captain Smith at the end of the month. Other than that, we're moving forward with normal summer events, planning and just getting ready for the 4th here in the village. Another important thing to note to the board is that since I believe it was 2 board meetings ago, we found out we got some grant funding from the county in regards to Pleasant View Drive for some speed signs. I've been doing some research. I have some quotes that have come in. I'm not prepared to bring them to the board yet. I'm still looking everything over, but I'm working on having all that information. I'll probably sit down with you at some point just to kind of go over what we have and see if there's a direction we really want to take with it. And we'll move forward from there. Other than that, I have no other report unless somebody's got a question.
Dog control, anything, dog control?
Nothing tonight. I'll have something to report at the first meeting next month.
Okay, thank you very much. Carmen?
Hello. Parks, Keyser Park, the pool coating will be started Wednesday, once it gets approved tonight. We're waiting on quotes for the handicap ramp to go in there. We've got a couple, we got it out there to the pool companies, working on that. He already talked about Walden Ponds. Metally, they're gonna start on the door on the waiters, splash pad side next week. That should be done, then we'll paint the building, we'll get that ready. Westwood Playground is finished, the addition, they did that, they finished the ground. We're gonna,
How's it going over? People like it better?
they love it.
Okay, good.
Kids can now actually climb it and not have issues. Over the weekend, last 2 weekends, we had tournaments in both parks. Couldn't find a parking spot in either one. Walden Ponds was slammed from the back all the way to the front. They loved it. They were happy. Diamonds looked great. Westwood, we had soccer and we had Appreciation Day over the weekend, so that was slammed. And then the DEC called us that they got kicked out of one of their areas where they do teach a kid how to fish. So they asked if they could use our park, so they came and did their how to teach a kid to fish Saturday, and they had tents up and they loved it. They're happy. They want to come back next year. Hopefully we can maybe work a deal where they'll give us even more fish for the pond. I met with Ed and Pilato at the park on sprinklers in the pond. We had a company come in that does it. We're just waiting for the quote to get 3 sprinklers in there with lighting. The company that came in seems pretty reasonable, so we're just waiting to hear from them. Landscaping, we did new landscaping at Walden Ponds, Town Hall over here. Highway, we're going to be tearing up for your next meeting at the library. We're going to do the front. We're going to tear out that front. It's just overgrown. We're going to redo the entrance, the front of the building there. We have a crew starting subdivision entrances, pulling the weeds, and then we'll have them sprayed and everything, get them all cleaned up. They started at B.O. Trippy was the first one, and then they're going to be going down Aurora Street. We got new drinking fountains coming in for Walden Ponds, Westwood, and Meadow Lee on the outside because they have either been missing or haven't worked in years. So those will be in this week and we'll have them installed. What else we have? Boiler, police boiler's done, but we have to put a new HVAC system in the old OEM. So we're gonna have that done in-house. We're gonna get a new heating system with air conditioning for them because that one's shot and it's not working. And Ron is a little hot over there, so we're gonna make sure that gets done. And our crews are pruning out there, and just from May 11th to June 11th, we had 37 service calls that came in just in forestry.
Have we heard from Parco? Again, they're supposed to be out there
They're
this week?
supposed to come this week. I think they're starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Wednesday, the guy called me for the bleachers. We're gonna meet them there at 8 o'clock. Wednesday morning to unload them, and they're gonna start, and
I have the pier inspection scheduled for 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry, a what inspection?
The pier inspection.
Oh, okay.
They're going to drill out the
Yep.
piers in the morning.
So they're gonna be there, they're gonna put them in, you're gonna come and inspect them after they get them in there? Okay, so they better be there tomorrow? Okay, great.
I think,
Thank you.
you guys done with the TVs?
We're done.
No.
I might.
You done? Or you want me to push them back?
Not yet.
Okay, just let me know. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Nick?
Good evening. Updates for the board. Our books are closed out for May, and we're currently working with the New York State Assemblyman on two matters. Trying to get a better estimate of the employer contribution rate with the upcoming Tier 6 reform. They have a research team out in Albany who's putting together some numbers for us so we can get a better budget estimate for the upcoming year. And we're also investigating CHIPS funding. So CHIPS funding is the Highway Improvement Program funding that comes from the state. And right now the town gets about $130,000 a year. And the village is slated to get $330,000 a year. So we took a pretty in-depth review of all of the different municipalities, and Lancaster's on the lower end. Our neighboring municipalities who are of similar size are like West Seneca, they're at $380,000, Orchard Park at $250,000. So we're hoping that the research team can come up with something, at least give us an understanding of why we're so low, or potentially there could be a good sum of money coming our way.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay, Tier 6, for people who don't know, they changed the rules for the Tier 6 retirement, where the state has now mandated that the towns, villages pick up a great majority of the increase. It's good for the employees. They pay less into the system for Tier 6 retirements. However, for the towns and villages and the residents, we got to pick up the majority of the cost for that. So just so everybody knows, which obviously has an impact on our budget now, well, once it's figured out for 2027.
It would be 2027.
Yeah.
They will release the final numbers, I think, September 15th, and we have 2 weeks to submit the budget from that. So
Okay.
we're definitely going to play it safe and go with a higher estimate just to be safe, hopefully.
Yeah, till we
But
find
the
out for sure.
Comptroller can do whatever the comptroller really wants to do, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
John? Evening.
First off, I want to thank Nick for helping us dive in on that CHIP funding. It's been something we've been asking and very tough to get answers to. They tell us it's a very tough mathematical equation and they won't give it to us to figure out why our funding is lower. So Nick's probably the perfect person to do that. So thank you very much, Nick. As you know, this time of year is one of our busiest times of the year. Over the past few weeks, Highway Department has been milling and paving, while also assisting the Village of Lancaster DPW and Depew DPW with their paving projects. We completed Terrace Boulevard, South Bellevue, North Bellevue, Meridian, Lehigh, and Highland for the Village of Depew. Today we began paving Lake Avenue for the Village of Lancaster. Last week, we also finished Beatrix and Siebert roads right up to Devonshire for the town. Our crews will begin work in Michael's Walk subdivision next week to complete the paving. In addition to paving, we still have crews out doing brush. We got them mowing ponds. Our crews replaced something like 31 drainage intakes in all the areas that we're paving. So we're moving and we're grooving, man. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ron Rosler? Is there anybody else back there? Department heads?
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. So I don't have a whole lot going on right now. It's kind of a slow time. We had the train event last week, Thursday. Went out with no problems. Obviously, a lot of traffic along Erie Street was completely packed on both sides. Got to the point that we finally had to just shut it down between pavement and town line. But again, no problems, no injuries, and after it was through, people were able to pretty much clear out on their own without too much assistance. So, and thank Carmen for looking into the HVAC system in my building.
Great.
So, any questions?
No.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks. And I'll let you know.
Cindy, you got anything for us? Okay, all right. Board members, what do you want to talk about? We got time.
I can review grants.
Go ahead.
As far as the splash pad grant is concerned, we met, the grant team met about the new administration requirements for SFS grants, and they're quite intense. So we put together a plan so that from here to 4, not only that grant, but further SFS grant administrations, we can handle that.
Okay.
As well as Cindy and I are in the fact gathering stage for a couple of grants, which would be the WQIP grant, which affects the highway department as far as a sewer vac truck is concerned for the town of Lancaster, which will certainly help us with our DIs and our retention and detention ponds, and a possible land acquisition because 525 pavement is growing, we're outgrowing it. And we need some extra space over there to accommodate the services for our residents. And the last grant that we're in fact gathering information with is to update our comprehensive master plan, which is certainly going to help us go forward with proper zoning, as we spoke about at the moratorium meeting, as well as further grant requests, having that in place properly. So, that's it.
Anything else this time?
I had a few things. One of them, I had 2 things I wanted to bring up. I brought it up a few times already, the ethics board. I was just wondering if anybody has had any, like if we've had any response to that. I know that the posting is online, that we're looking for people for the ethics board.
I haven't seen a single response to it.
Yeah,
Did you get anything?
okay.
All right, so we do have an open ethics board. Anybody who wants to be part of the ethics board, you gotta submit your name, send it to the town clerk, and you're gonna have to tell us, your affiliation, Republican, Democrat, Conservative, whatever it is, because we can have only so many people, so many Democrats, so many Republicans, so many Conservatives on that ethics board. So if anybody's interested, please feel free to put in for it, send it to the town clerk, and she'll route it through us, so.
And I just want to add that we are able to, according to the posting, 1 town employee could be on it. So if you are a town employee that is interested, we could take a look at having 1 person that is employed by the town be on the ethics board as well. Code enforcement.
And it's no pay, just so people.
Yes,
It's no pay.
It's
Well, we
it's volunteer. You're
Appreciate you
volunteer.
doing it.
Yes. For code enforcement, I interviewed candidates with Matt for his open clerk position, and I believe Matt is going to move forward with that. But then also, I wanted to begin a conversation with the board about the number of assistant code enforcement officers that we have compared to the workload they have. So Matt gave me this great book to read, which I would recommend to anybody. And I just dropped it, sorry guys. It's Effective Code Enforcement by Justin Edson. He was a code enforcement officer and law enforcement officer for many, many years. So he wrote this, and then I did some research on top of that as well. And it basically says that to stay busy, they should have between 50 and 100 cases. So I asked Matt, we have 3 assistant code enforcement officers, how many cases do they have? And he said they have like over 300 each. So when you have that many, you can fall late on time frames and things like that. And then also it's going to be unmanageable long term, but also could potentially put residents at risk. So I really want for the board to have some conversations and take a look at that. The guidelines, it recommends 1 code enforcement officer for every 10,000 residents. And we have, 45,000, so we're close, but not there. So I just wanted to bring that up as something that we could, discuss as a board together, or maybe start looking into that and see for that. Those are other things. And then I guess this one I could do now instead of during committee reports. The rest I could do. So I just wanted to follow up with you, Mr. Supervisor, on the removal of me from a highway. Previously, you said you would review this request, and both myself and the highway superintendent have requested for me to be reinstated, so I'm just wondering, like, what objective criteria you're looking at to determine if I'm reinstated, or, you know, what is holding that back?
Okay, I took a look at it at this point. I decided not to do it at this point. I still think there was some potential getting involved with the contract negotiations with the blue collar. So I've decided not to do that. Now,
But
you
that's
do
not
understand.
objective, that's subjective.
No, it's objective. You do understand that you have the opportunity to go to the highway department anytime you want. It's just you're not on the committee.
But
That's it.
you said I couldn't go there.
No, that's not what I said at all. You're not on the committee. The committees are set up by the supervisor to help out the supervisor with different things going on. You got involved, it appeared to be with the negotiations going on. I got some.
But it wasn't.
I got some emails to back that up. that
I would love
think
to
you
see
were.
those.
I will show them to you.
Please do, because I was not
Okay, and
involved in
it's-
any of that.
And it's the supervisor's committee to help out the supervisor.
But I do feel like it's retribution.
Retribution for what?
Do you want me to go into it? I mean, there's been a lot going on, right? You hung up on me less than 2 weeks before when I tried calling you and wouldn't have a conversation with me.
Circumstances of that were what the circumstances of that were at that point.
Because
So
you
again,
didn't
there's no
understand.
retribution against you. You were involved in the contract negotiations. I got a couple of emails, and I'll be happy to show them to you.
I would love for you to show it to everybody. Not just me, like, I want everybody to be able to see that, because not only myself, but the highway superintendent also told you the CSE representatives were not going to be there, and I have come there
Okay.
repeatedly.
I'm not going to talk about this here because I do have some other people involved in this. I'm not going to do it. Okay, you can call out whatever you want. The reality is the committees are set up by the supervisor. You were involved, going to talk to people, involved in the negotiations, and that's pretty much it at this point. So
Well, I guess it's
we're gonna
he
leave
said,
it at
she
that.
said, and I know that I
No,
did not do
it's,
that.
that's, and again, the committees are set up by the supervisor.
That I understand.
Okay.
But
So-
again,
so
I
it's
still
there to help me,
think it's retaliation.
And it wasn't, no, retaliation for what? Again, there's no retaliation.
Because of
for
how you've been
anything.
treating me for the past 2.5 years.
Okay.
Since,
What? I haven't treated you any different.
since March 4th in the executive session 2024, yes, you have.
Okay. We're not going to discuss
I'm
this
not going to
in front of
discuss
all these people.
the executive session, but
it
after
sounds
that,
like
you
you're-
blocked me from being able to call you for over 6 weeks.
You were in my office all the time after that. You were
I was
in there.
not.
You brought your daughter in with you. I gave her candy every time she came in. I thought we had a pretty good
Maybe
relationship.
3 times, but yes.
No, she was in there more than 3 times.
Not right after that,
Yeah. So again,
no.
again, we're not going to I'm not going to discuss this at this point. Okay? Again, the
Okay.
committees are my choice, and at this point in time, I'm making no change on that.
I
Okay.
can tell that.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about? Okay, at this point in time, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back here at 7 o'clock.
I think we were
start
supposed to
the
talk
meeting.
about term limits. That's what today was supposed to be about.
Well, term limits, we got a public hearing coming up on the term limits.
But weren't we supposed to, that's,
As a board discuss.
yeah, we decided
Well,
this
because-
meeting we were going
Oh,
to
then go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, as the public hearing, the
Yeah.
public will discuss their thoughts on it.
Sure.
And I'm just saying, I don't know if we really had that discussion as a board fully, so I don't know who wants to start it, but.
I'd be happy to, since it was my proposal, if that's okay. Cindy, could you? Okay. There's no room for it? Oh, okay. It's a short, it's really just my proposal broken up. That's really all it is, so everybody can see it. It's just probably that one, the term limits one, that one. I didn't realize there'd be more than one thing on it. Oh, nice. Okay. Sorry, okay, I guess it's not gonna work. Okay. Well, I guess I do have a copy of it here for me. I don't know if it's because I did it on a Mac. I'm not very tech savvy. Oh, there we go. I do my best. You can probably just go to the next slide too, actually, the purpose. So the purpose is really just to expand the participation in the electoral process and to bring new ideas to governance in the town of Lancaster. And then I have some examples. If you go to the next slide, it's Grand Island. So Grand Island's term limits is that no town supervisor or council member of the town shall commence any terms as in the office of supervisor or council member after a completion of 12 years or more. Highway and clerk are 16 years of service. And then they also had a little clause in there that highway and clerk terms prior to 2025 did not count. So Amherst is next. That one is no elective public officer of the town shall have more than 2 consecutive terms of 4 years in the same public office. And that is for everybody except for the justices. So then there's West Seneca, which theirs is for supervisor and council members, and that they have 2 consecutive terms of 4 years each. And then their exclusions is that it does not apply to town justice, town clerk, or town highway superintendent. And then town of Tonawanda is that the council member and supervisor can have 3 terms of 4 years each. And then the exclusion is highway superintendent, town clerk, and justices. You can skip the proposal, I just put it in there again. And then this was my proposal. It was 2 consecutive 4-year terms for the supervisor and council members, and that the number of terms that the person can be elected to and serve in the same public office shall be limited to 2 consecutive terms of 4 years each. Terms of office in the same elected position.
For those who have like hearing issues, can you slow down and speak more clearly?
Sure, yeah. So it's 2 consecutive 4-year terms for the council member and the supervisor. And then the terms prior to the 20, this is something of course we can discuss, but I put like a number in there. The terms prior to 2027, so next year's general election, would not count. So anybody that's sitting up here right now, this would not apply to. And then exclusions, town justices, their roles, that's strictly governed by the state constitution. We cannot govern their terms at all. The town clerk, the exclusion would be because she is the official keeper of our local records, licensing, municipal archives. She retains, ensures operational continuity, preserves historical institutional memory regarding complex administrative, legal, and local legislative procedures. And then for the highway superintendent, that requires specialized hands-on knowledge of local infrastructure, road maintenance, and heavy machinery, which is difficult and expensive to replace. Municipalities often rely on the experience of long-term superintendents to manage capital planning and safety operations without interruption. And then I had a timeline. So first step right now is our public hearing that we're having, the information gathering one that we're going to have after this at 7:05. And then the second step would be to come up with the language for the local law. And we'd have to have a seeker done on this. We'd have to have a public hearing on the local law. The town board would have to adopt the local law, and then the referendum process would begin. And then in November, that would be the general election where all the residents of Lancaster would have their opportunity to vote on it. And then I had some frequently asked questions like, will this go to a referendum? The only way it goes to a referendum is if the town board votes for this local law. So if it gets voted down, then there will not be a referendum. When would it be effect? This, of course, can change as well, because I put in there the 2027 general election. It wouldn't go in effect until the 2028, so January 1st, 2028. 4 towns currently right now have term limits. Cheektowaga is going to have term limits on their referendum. They're going to have a referendum this November for it. And then what does this mean for the current town supervisor and council members? None of us up here have served more than 2 4-year consecutive terms. So the 2025 election and the 2027 election are actually 3-year terms to align with the election bill the governor signed to make sure that they're on even years back in December of 2023. So the 2028 and 2030 elections will be back to the 4-year terms at that point in time. And that is what my presentation entailed. There's nothing else. So that is like a general quick snapshot for everybody.
Okay, board members?
You know, I agree with having council and supervisor only, and excluding judges, town clerk, highway. Maybe increase it to 3 term limits instead of 2 consecutive. And really, again, let the people decide if they want to do that. One thing is, does term limits fix what we can see in some areas in local government or higher government? We've all seen individuals who only do 1 term because they don't follow the lead of their party leaders. They think for themselves and they move forward. So they don't have the backing on the next go-around. They're not supported. So if you get into this circle of you have a term limit and they're going to put, if they support, say the GOP, the Democrats, whoever it is, they don't, that person in there is voting exactly the way they want. They drink their Kool-Aid. They're going to put somebody in that does the exact same thing. What really needs to happen is us as voters have to really dig in and look at who is being proposed to represent us and how they vote and how they do it, and vote that way. We can't just keep voting, I think, with our party lines sometimes, because we get into a rabbit hole, and we can see that now, and it's so divided. And I think term limits are good, but I think a lot of the issues, and when you look at companies, what is the issues at the top, not the bottom? They don't want to look at and listen to people at the bottom. The top rules it all. So, in my opinion, that's where the issues are within this country, and it won't change till that changes. But I do believe term limits are good. Do I think it will fix it? I don't think so. But I think it's a great opportunity to bring that out to the public and to the board and actually talk about something that has probably been talked about over beer, coffee, whatever it is. Term limits have come up forever. And thank you for bringing it up, because I think everybody needs to have that conversation around the water cooler and really look at history, look at the history, but look at what's going on now and come up with your decision, what you feel is best for the town of Lancaster and moving forward in the town of Lancaster. And, you know, we always say grassroots. Could something start here that possibly could have that butterfly effect throughout other towns in the country? It possibly can. So that's my 2 cents.
Tom?
Thank you for your honor, on the candid and your common sense approach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think term limits is something that's needed in politics all the way across. I think term limits are something that is a good check and balance on potential corruption, and like anything in any job you have, getting a fresh perspective on a board or Senate seat, assembly seat, all the way up through, getting that fresh perspective from somebody new after several years is always good. Different set of eyes on a problem sometimes comes up with different solutions and more effective solutions. The only place I differ is I think term limits should apply to all elected positions, minus the judicial branch. That's always separate. That's something that's a little different than the executive branch in government. But the term limits should apply, I think, across the board. Where yours limits it to just the board and supervisor, I think the term limit should apply across the board. Now, the time can be different. I agree with you that I think that certain jobs are more technical than others and require a longer amount of time in each particular position, clerk being one of them. But I also think maybe another additional term for a supervisor. A supervisor actually has a lot more responsibility, I think we all could say, than a board member. It's all checks and balances in that aspect. The same with the town clerk and a highway superintendent. They have a very particular skill set that I think once you have a good one in place, leaving them in place as long as they're elected for a longer period of time is important. But term limits is something that I think the resident should decide on and should think about, because it allows us to get that fresh perspective. That was how government was designed from the beginning. It was people leave their personal life, serve their town or county, and then go back to their personal life and allow a variety of people to get involved. It was never supposed to become a full-time job being an elected official. And that isn't how it was supposed to be, and I think it's dangerously close to becoming that, especially at the higher levels where you get, senators and, congressmen that are in there for 40 plus years. That just leads to a lot of corruption, and I don't think that's good for anyone.
Thank you. Dawn?
Well, I'm not going to waste your time and repeat what Tom said, but honestly, I kind of mirror what Tom said. Right across the board, actually. And I appreciate the research that you did for the subject. The only thing that I have a question about is in your timeline. So, to tell a little bit background, a long time ago, there was somebody coming in to try to dissolve villages. And Andrew Cuomo, when he was Attorney General, he wrote the law. And he kind of wrote it backwards, okay? That village residents would petition the village board for dissolution. It would go to referendum within 16 weeks, and then they would learn what the financial repercussions were of their vote, whether to dissolve or not. And I didn't think that was fair that the voters would go into the actual booth without knowledge or education as to what was going to happen after they voted with their choice. So I came up with it was 16 weeks between petition and voting time. So I came up with a 16-week plan to educate the voters of that municipality so that they could actually walk into the booth with an education. So what I didn't see on your timeline was how are we going to reach out to approximately 33,000 voters to let them know what the repercussions of their yay or nay vote to,
I don't know if that is something we can do. We couldn't do that with the park referendum, so I'm not really sure why we would be able to do it for this.
Oh, we could have done it with the park
Then
referendum, it just wasn't done.
Why didn't we? Right, I guess that's a great question then.
Right,
Because why
right.
didn't we? Because we could have had more yes votes for that then.
I mean,
In charge of that.
in all
That's why it wasn't
honesty, the repercussion really, the bottom line is this. If you really love someone and want to vote for them for the next 100 years, you can't. I mean, that's really the repercussion of it, is, you, after whatever timeline we come up with, say, after that timeline, that individual,
Well, to further
you no
Melissa's-
longer would be able to vote for them.
To further Melissa's research, whereas West Seneca enacted term limits in 2022 for 2 terms for just council people and supervisor, there have been 5 instances of unethical behavior. So we need to research how the models that have already gone before us, how it worked out, and maybe, the public, before they walk into that booth and just go, I'm going to flip a quarter and, fill in a circle. I mean, I believe that I believe in the power of the people, and I want them to vote. I want them to make the choice, just as you put out in your proposal. But I think that they need information before they fill in that circle. And I'd like to see some of that on the timeline, maybe some open meetings. Not just a public hearing at 7:05 at a board meeting, because we're capturing 20 people in a room here and maybe 100 people that are watching it online. Maybe have some open meetings in the Opera House or something like
I
that.
did ask for those, and I thought I asked for an open meeting instead of a public hearing, and this is what we decided on.
Oh, I thought this was your choice.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
No,
You're
no.
leading the charge here.
And we
So-
definitely could have an open meeting upstairs in the Opera House as
Absolutely.
well. Get it out there more and, you know, see.
This is a public hearing, which is kind of an unofficial public hearing, which is what we push for before the official
it's
public hearing.
information.
So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
was, this was set up for this purpose. So,
I would just like to see the public more informed
Sure.
before they vote in November. As to what, however, the referendum is written. I mean, tonight is information gathering as to how we might want to formulate the referendum. But once that formulation is done, I would like to see the public educated.
okay, so basically, I believe in term limits. I believe in term limits for all. I believe your term limits start the second you're elected to office. So basically, I'm into my, if I'm, you know, in my first term right now, if reelected, that would be 2 terms. I don't think it should be decided by 3 years or 4 years. It should be by the terms, so the time is running on people who are already in office. And if we're going to do it, we should do it right. In my opinion, my way would be 2 terms and you move on. Now, that being said, there's a lot of difference of opinion on exactly how we should do this. So you hear some people are for everybody, like I am. I think we should even go to the state, talk to them about judges, because judges are local as well. So basically, there's only 3 criteria you need to be elected in the state of New York for a town. Whether you're a judge, a councilman, supervisor, town clerk, highway superintendent, and basically you got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be 18 years of age, and you got to reside in the town that you're going for that particular position. That's it. There are no specialties. Most judges have legal degrees. You don't need a legal degree. You don't need a special degree. Don't take this the wrong way, to become a town clerk. You don't need a special degree to be a council member or a town supervisor. Now, everybody who's decent, who gets into those positions, you know, again, we'd like them to stay a little bit longer. But if we're going to do term limits, in my opinion, you got to do them right. You've already started. If you're sitting up here, you already started. So we got to decide if they're going to get 4 more years or 1 more term, which in some cases now is only 3 years. So what I did is I put an article in the paper, and I left it up to Mr. Sinner to cut up because it was too long. Unfortunately, he left off a couple of spots that I thought were very important. And the last one being that I think we should put together a committee to study this. Because in Amherst, they got hammered by New York State because they weren't doing it properly. They had, I believe, 2 4-year terms, and then they tried to make it longer than that. And New York State came back and said, you can't do that anymore. They did it by, you know, by a vote before, then it had to go to referendum. In Grand Island, I think they had problems in Grand Island and came up with the numbers they came up with there. So in Amherst, they did, after they got turned down by the state of New York, they put a committee together of former elected officials. So because we have differences, okay, I don't think we should rush this into a referendum this year. I think we should put a committee together made up of elected officials, former elected officials, to find out if we're going to do it exactly how we want to do it. We do it once. Okay, this isn't a great year for voters to get out anyways. With all due respect, Judge, there's only 1 judge position that people are voting for this year. There's not all the town members that are running for office. Next year, there's going to be more people involved. You're probably going to have a better turnout next year to hear from more voters at that point anyways. So my idea would be to put a committee together, former elected officials. We choose as a town board exactly who's going to be on that committee, and then we get the residents involved with it as well. Put a group together, figure out exactly what we want to do in the town of Lancaster. So we're not going to come back in a couple of years. We're going to vote on it again and change this. It doesn't look wrong for the people who are already here. Because again, you know, we can't tell people, hey, you got to do this, but we're going to be on there for 16 years. It's just not right. So if we're going to do it, let's do it right, or come up with the way exactly that we want to do it. So those are my thoughts on it. But I'm all for term limits. I said when I got into this job, I was going to run twice.
I ran once, I'm going to run again. It's only a 3-year term. That's it for me. Time to move on to somebody else. So, thank you very much. Anything else?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to respond to some of the comments. So thank you, everybody, for your comments. And I'm very excited to see a packed house here. I'm very interested in what everybody does have to say, genuinely. The only thing I want to add is that when I ran for town council, I promised the residents of Lancaster that I would conduct town business with transparency, openness, and accountability. Those principles guided me when I introduced this legislation publicly at a town board meeting. I've heard criticism that this proposal should have been discussed privately before being introduced. Respectfully, I disagree. The public's business should be conducted in public. Legislative proposals should be introduced openly, debated openly, like today, and voted on openly. Every board member received the proposal at the same time, and every resident can follow and participate in the process from the beginning. I've also heard concerns that this proposal is being rushed. I don't believe that is the case. Before becoming law, it must go through board discussion, public hearings, a board vote, ultimately a referendum where Lancaster votes. Lancaster voters have that final say. So this is not a rushed process, it's a transparent one. Some have suggested forming another committee to study term limits. Respectfully, I don't believe that's necessary. The town board is the body elected to consider legislation. We have legal counsel and public hearings, and most importantly, the voters themselves will decide whether this proposal should become law. This proposal is not about any individual, political party, or upcoming election. It is about whether term limits are good public policy for Lancaster. It is about encouraging fresh perspectives, new leadership, accountability, and continued public confidence in local government. Finally, I would encourage us to focus less on speculation about motivations and more on the merits of the proposal itself. Reasonable people can disagree on term limits, and I welcome that discussion. If residents have concerns, let's hear them. That is exactly what the legislative process is designed to do. And at the end of the day, I trust the people of Lancaster. If this board chooses to place this question on the ballot, the voters will have the final say. That is democracy, that is transparency, and that is exactly what I promised when I asked for the privilege of serving this community.
Thank you for that. Obviously, we don't agree on everything, and I don't think all the board members... I don't think all the board members agree on the specifics of this, which is why I recommended that we send it to a committee. But again, it's a board decision. Whatever we come up with, what we decide to do, and the board's got to come up with that decision as to what we want to do. As to presenting it to the public, of course it's up to the public, because it has to go to a referendum at some point. Again, I'm just trying not to rush this into something where we're not hearing from all the residents. As I've already said, we get probably about 100, maybe 200 hits when we put this live streaming, okay? So again, we want to try to get this information out to as many of the voters who are going to show up in November as we possibly can. So I don't think we need to rush this. As to everything else, transparency, all for it, 110% for it. So again, we'll make a decision as a town board at some point, but this evening, we're going to be starting shortly. We're going to hear from the residents as to what they think on term limits, along with a couple other public hearings. So we're going to take like a 2-minute break. If anybody's got to run out, get some water, use the bathroom, and come right back and we'll get started. Thank you.
The live streaming will continue, so everything you say and do will be recorded. Did you make your Sudoku run?
You want me to get you?
No. Did you?
No, I did it before.
Oh, okay, good.
Mr. Thill, I am. Absolutely. How are you? I saw you coming.
Mr. Phil? How are you? Good to see you.
It is absolutely filling in fast. Glad you came right up front.
should be starting like in 30 seconds. Present tomorrow. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Yes. I gotta. Okay. Gotcha. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board meeting for June 15th, 2026. We're going to give the council members a minute to get back here and our town attorney, but we have to start at 7 o'clock.
We need the door closed?
Yeah, if you could keep that back door closed. Otherwise, it blocks the camera for the people watching, live streaming.
Is that a comprehensive plan?
Okay, board members, we already started the meeting. Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anacola.
Here.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Here.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
Councilmember Studley.
Here.
Supervisor Leary.
Here. Tonight, the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation will be led by Councilmember Melissa Studley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Let us take a moment to reflect on the significance of Flag Day and the principles of liberty and justice for all that embodies. As we conduct the business of the board, let us be guided by a spirit of collaboration, mutual respect, and the dedication to the people we serve. May our actions today reflect our commitment to progress, fairness, and the betterment of our entire community. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, so this evening we have 19 pre-filed resolutions. We're going to have 3 public hearings, and we're going to have 1 attorney-client meeting later on. A little bit later on. Okay. Tonight we're going to close in memory of Richard Vitimo. Okay. Our 3 public hearings are on term limits for elected officials, special use permit for 16 Bottomer Street, and the outdoor lighting law, outdoor lighting law. It's a little too early to get into the public hearings, but a little too late to really give everybody who wants to talk about resolutions a shot. So board members, do you want to talk about our official reports or reports of town board committees?
I have 2 quick ones.
Go ahead.
For assessments, the grievance day has passed and decisions will be made by July 1st. New assessments will be applied to the September 2026 school taxes and the January 2027 town and county taxes. And then for the library, the Friends of the Lancaster Public Library will be holding a chicken barbecue Sunday, July 19th to help with keeping the library open on Sundays.
Okay, thank you.
June 24th is the first night of our Bandshell concert series at Oxford. Please join us. We'll have the Boys of Summer on stage. We have some great food and ice cream vendors along with craft vendors, artisans. That's it.
Great, thank you very much. Tom, Mark, what do you got? Okay, you got a minute to kill, Mark. What do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, all right. Well, we can't
20
start this.
seconds.
20 seconds. Okay. Tick, tick, tick. All right, let me know when it's exactly 7:05, please. Thank you. Okay, we'll give people time after the public hearings who want to address the town board on any pre-filed resolutions. We'll obviously make time for that.
It's 7:05.
Okay, great, thank you. Can I have a motion to go into the first public hearing?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to a resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster adopted on June 1st, 2026, a public hearing will be held on the 15th day of June, 2026, today, 7:05 PM here, Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, to hear all interested persons regarding term limits for law-making elected officials. We're doing all elected officials, town supervisor, town council, and any other elected officials at this point. The purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their sentiments, concerns, or views, which would benefit citizens of the town of Lancaster. All citizens who wish to be heard are urged to attend this public hearing. And we're going to give everybody 5 minutes. Is that correct, Town Board?
Yes.
Okay, Mark's going to time it.
I got it.
All right, anybody who's interested to be heard on this topic of term limits, please raise your hand, and then you're going to come up to the podium when I recognize you, and you're going to give your name and address to the town clerk. I'm sorry, what?
This is the first person that wants to speak.
Oh, okay. Well, that person should probably go first. Okay, all right. Anybody who wants to speak? All right, come on up.
My name is Claudette Kay, and I live over on Brandell. My question's with regard to the term limits. How many years is everyone in these positions to begin with?
4.
4 years, everyone. Okay.
And the state has enacted that they're trying to get them all on the same time period, so there's 4-year terms and 3-year terms.
So for voting purposes?
Yeah.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Has this been done in any other towns so far?
4 of them.
Which ones?
It was West Seneca, Tonawanda,
Grand Island.
Grand Island, and Amherst.
And how long ago was that?
Some were earlier 2000s, and others were more recently within.
All right, so, and then the push to do it is what? Is it, I'm trying to figure out like the benefits, so, because a lot of people want term limits, a lot of people do not. So what are the pros and what are the cons of doing that at this point? Anyone?
Well, the pros are obviously that you're not going to have somebody in power for a great period of time.
Correct.
However, that's a great candidate, a great person in there. Do we really want to do that? Personally, I've taken when I got involved in politics, I had a couple other careers before this. I said I was going to do 2 terms, and that's it. I'm going to step away so somebody else can come in there. I'm not 21 years old anymore. So again, give people an opportunity
Yes.
to come in there and basically be heard. So that's one of the pros. Obviously, some of the cons are when you get a great, somebody in there as a town clerk like Diane Terranova, if you have term limits on that, somebody like that, they may not be able to run again and not get a chance to, finish it out. But again, that's the kind of quick summary as to the pros and cons of it.
So can they run in different positions then?
Yes.
If they want, and then they would have one term of that, which whatever it is, 4 or 3 years?
Correct.
Okay, and then,
Can I interrupt? Yeah, the 3 years is only to get us in line with even election years.
oh, okay.
So right now, Councilmember Burkhart and Councilmember Anacola are in a 3-year term, while the rest of us finish out our 4-year terms. And then should we all decide to run again next year, it would be a 3-year term for us to get us onto the next even year cycle.
Okay.
I know it's confusing.
It is very- No, that's
Governor
okay.
Hochul wanted to get people on an even year. And so this is a New York State thing that's going on for the next couple of cycles.
Right, so that's coming out from the state level to
Yes.
realign everything? Okay.
So a term is 3 years, but it counts for retirement purposes for 4 years, I believe. So it is
Okay.
what it is.
So everyone, nothing is volunteer here, correct? You guys are all on payroll? Correct.
Everyone here is elected.
Okay. Can I ask, how many of you are lawyers?
Not me.
Just the town attorney.
Just the town attorney.
Yeah.
Which is?
Right
Over
here.
here.
Oh, I'm trying to read fast.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So, okay, because I'll have questions on the other topics that we have on, but I think it's always important to have an attorney available that knows the law better than, someone like me. Like, I work for a lawyer, but I don't know the law, so, I understand that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did you want to give your last name?
Oh, I did. Kate.
K, how do you spell it?
K-A-N-E.
K-A-N-E? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Robert Thill. I'm a lifelong resident of the town of Lancaster, presently residing at 5329 Broadway in the village of Lancaster. I've had the honor of serving the citizenry of this municipality for 52 years. 2 years during my college years as a lifeguard at Keysa Pool, 36 years as your elected town clerk, and 15 years as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. So I have a pretty good feel as to who does what and who did what and how good they were doing it and how bad they were doing it over 53 years. Before I get into this, I'd just like to thank the board for giving us this opportunity to speak. I love transparency. I love having the citizens speak out. Thank you very much for that. The proposition for term limits does not apply to judiciaries. So we're talking about non-judiciary offices, the town board members, the town clerk, the highway superintendent, and, don't forget, library trustees who are elected officials of the town of Lancaster. Term limits refer to legal restrictions on the number of terms an elected official can serve while in office. Now you got supporters and you have opponents to this concept of term limits. And there is reams and reams of information on Google and on ChatPlat about this particular subject. Boiled down, supporter of term limits believes that rotating the office holders, rotating them, helps prevent government corruption. It keeps the elected officials in tune with and accountable to the electorate by forcing them to become private citizens at the end of their terms. Bye-bye when you hit the end of your term. The opponents, however, look at it differently. The opponents of term limits believe that the electorate should decide when government officials leave office. They argue that term limits lead to incompetent government officials who are forced to learn on the job at the taxpayer's expense. They are pushing out trained, experienced incumbents who are providing official and effective government. That's very, very short pros and cons. Now let's just look at our neighborhoods. How about things in Erie County? Of the 29 towns in Erie County, 3 towns, Tonawanda, West Seneca, and Evans, have legislated term limits for supervisor and town board members only, the legislative body. What about the rest of them? Of the 29 towns in Erie County, none of them have legislated term limits for the town clerk or town highway superintendent. Why is that? Well, after 52 years, I come to believe that it's widely known among town boards throughout the county that these 2 elected officers, along with the police department, if any in that municipality, serve as the main kingpins of continuity in government and services to the citizenry. They are kingpins and they have continuity, and they are the ones that really, really should not be under term limits. My position on term limits is simple, and it follows. I oppose term limits because I have full faith in the electorate. I've seen them work for many, many years, 36 years for me. Let the voters decide when their elected officials leave office. I strongly oppose any term limits for the town clerk receiver and the highway superintendent. As I said before, they are the hinge pins for the continuity of government. Folks, town boards and supervisors come and go and come and go. The continuity of all those things you see before you, all those resolutions, all those public hearings, those come from the town clerk's office. That is the continuity. You come to the town clerk for help, and the town clerk doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat. The town clerk takes care of you because the town clerk works for the citizenry, not a Democrat or Republican or other party. One thing I ask of the board, if you do decide to submit a proposal to the electorate in November, if you decide to do that, I'm all for it. But if you do it, I ask that you have two separate proposals. One for the policymakers, the town board and the supervisor, the legislators, yes or no, should they have term limits and how many years? And the other, the receiver, tax collector, receiver, and the superintendent of highways, separate for them. So they can pick or choose the people that really, really take care of them all the time, every day, and see them every day, as opposed to the town board, the legislative body, because they have two different messages. I want to thank you for this opportunity. If you have any questions of this old guy, I'd be happy to answer them. Other one, God save you, God love you, keep you all safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Okay, who else wants to be heard on this topic? Please raise your hand. Okay, sir?
My name is Paul Donsbus Jr. I live on Newell Avenue in Lancaster. Councilman Stelly, since you are the champion on term limits for elected officials, I have questions to ask of you. Did you get in contact with Supervisor Leary to call for a special session on term limits for the town elected officials before you brought term limits before a town board meeting?
No, because that wouldn't be transparent.
Did you receive legal counsel from town attorney Jennifer Strong on term limits?
I have spoken with her.
And if so, what was discussed?
I don't think I can share everything that we discussed so far.
We talked about transparency.
Not to interrupt, but this should be at the end? Isn't this for people to talk about term limits and what their thought is on it? It's not a question and answer. I would say absolutely to come back up at the end of the meeting, but this is for understanding what the public thinks.
If you could give your comments on term limits, I think that'd be fair. We did give the first woman up here an opportunity to ask some questions and whatnot.
I am asking questions. It is about term limits, and I have the right to ask.
Okay, and you're gonna
the lady that Councilmember Stelly.
Okay.
Councilmember Stelly, did you communicate to Town Lancaster Republican Chairman Greg Soka and or the Republican Committee regarding your bringing up term limits at the town board meeting? Yes or no?
I thought, we discussed it at a Republican meeting, but I thought it was after I brought it up.
You thought, or you did?
It was in.
It was after.
Okay. Councilmember Studley, did you communicate to the Erie County Committee Chairman Michael Cracker regarding a town's term limits for elected officials?
No.
With legal counsel of legal counsel of John Schmidt, second vice president and attorney for Phillips Idle and LLP. Did you even talk with him?
No.
Okay. Councilmember Studley, regarding New York State consolidated laws, town clerk, TWN states powers and duties in town clerk, town justice on a non-town highway department. I could not find anything regarding these three town positions regarding New York State town laws. If a resident runs for any of the three positions, that resident legally must be qualified. I did not find any information.
I just want to jump in for a sec. So it's not a deposition, so don't feel like you have to, yes or no. If you don't recall, you don't recall. If you need to refresh your memory and refer to things, just you're under no responsibility to give a yes or no answer if you're not sure, don't recall.
It would be wise.
Excuse me?
It would be wise.
Well, it's your choice.
We're talking transparency now.
Sure, but it's not a
Okay.
deposition, sir?
Yes.
And I think you've asked more questions than the first woman did ask. She was trying to gather further information about the whole thing, where I think you're trying to grill me and trying to
No, I'm
say
just,
something.
I'm
You're not
asking
exactly-
questions. I'm not grilling you. You're the one who brought this forth to the town
I did.
board.
Yes,
And
I did.
I'm asking questions because you're the one,
But-
you championship this.
As the supervisor
The question
said-
should pertain to how you feel about term limits or what your feelings are of whether you
I
support
wanna
them
know-
or don't support them. Who she spoke to regarding them is kind of irrelevant. to
No,
how-
not to me it isn't.
It's
What
irrelevant
is,
to the hearing.
what is relevant to me is relevant because I have the right to come before the town board and ask questions.
But what's
What
relevant
you
to
think
you
is
is not what the hearing's
irrelevant,
about.
it's not important
The
to me
hearing's
right
about
now.
what's relevant to term limits, how you feel
It's
as
relevant
voting.
though. I've been wondering these questions, so I'm bringing them up now.
And how does it affect how you feel regarding whether you support or don't
My
support
effect,
term limits?
I listen to everyone. I agree with Supervisor Leary because as a village, as I have lived in the village, when we had the referendum to get rid of Lancaster, the Village Lancaster Police Department, we didn't really have knowledge on most of what was going to happen on our vote before and after. And I totally agree with Dawn. Because
A dissolution and a changing of the guard and whether there is term limits or not is not the same thing, so it's an irrelevant comparison. If you have feelings or thoughts on whether you support or do not support term limits, that's what's relevant to this public hearing.
I just said to you, I support what Mr. Leary, the supervisor, said. I support what Councilmember Schroeder said. I was gonna wait to the end until, like usual, because someone like me gets up here, I get the good old, and
You're just outside the lines of what's supposed to.
no, not really. You keep on
That's a public
stopping me
hearing,
for the
it's a public
questions I have written.
Should be on the topic.
should
So
be
again,
on
we,
the topic.
yeah, but.
I've been on the topic.
Yeah, so.
I've been on the topic. I think it's rude what you've done to me. I just was asking relevant questions to the person who championshiped this. I have the right to ask her that, just like if you championshiped that, I would be asking you that, Tommy.
You can ask.
Amen to that.
Okay, anybody else want to be heard on this topic?
Good evening. My name is Greg Soika, 19 Spruceland Terrace. I support Councilmember Studley's proposal to place a public referendum on the November ballot establishing term limits for the offices of town supervisor and town council member. Most importantly, this proposal would take the decision out of the hands of elected officials and place it exactly where it belongs, with the voters of the town of Lancaster. At its heart, this proposal is about a simple principle. No supervisor or council member should remain in their positions permanently. Lancaster has grown and prospered over the years, and we should all be proud of that. But history also teaches us that when the same people or the same political party hold power for long periods of time, government can become comfortable, less accountable, and less open to new ideas. I do not believe that is unique to any individual, party, or administration. It is simple human nature. That is why term limits are worth considering. As I understand the proposal, the town supervisor and council members would be limited to 2 consecutive terms, 4-year terms. After a break in service, they could seek office again. That strikes me as a fair, balanced, and reasonable approach. It promotes renewal without permanently excluding experienced public servants from future service. I also support exempting the town clerk, highway superintendent, and town justices from the proposal. Unlike the supervisor and the town board, these offices are not primarily policy-making bodies. They perform specialized administrative, operational, and judicial functions that often require years of experience, technical knowledge, and professional expertise. In many respects, they operate largely outside partisan politic debates. For that reason, I believe there is meaningful distinction between limiting terms for elected policymakers and preserving continuity in positions where experience and institutional knowledge are especially important. This proposal is not about punishing anyone, nor is it about removing anyone from office. It is about creating regular opportunities for new leadership, fresh perspectives, and healthy competition. In that connection, I would be remiss if I did not express my difficulty in tracking the development of Supervisor Leary's position on long-term incumbency. In January, he seemed to favor new people and new blood when he chose not to support Josh Wroblewski or Keith Storr, who were sitting on the zoning ZBA. Yet 3 months later, his reaction to the Studley proposal was met with what appeared to be strong opposition to term limits. He later went to state his belief that Councilmember Studley's proposal was rooted in politics rather than being a meritorious proposal based on her own principles. Afterward, the supervisor reversed course once again, stating that he favored term limits for all elected officials, failing to make a distinction for non-policy making positions that provide essential administrative and safety services to Lancaster. While I respect his right to change his mind, I simply cannot align his conflicting views with the best interests of the residents he served. Nevertheless, some will argue that voters already have the power to remove elected officials. That is certainly true. However, incumbency carries significant advantages. Over time, name recognition, established relationships, patronage political jobs, and the visibility that comes with holding office can make meaningful competition increasingly difficult. Term limits help keep the system open. They encourage new candidates to step forward and remind all elected officials that public office is a public trust, not something to be held indefinitely. I also believe it is important that Lancaster residents have an opportunity to decide their questions for themselves. If term limits are a bad idea, voters can reject them. If term limits are a good idea, voters can approve them. Either way, the people should have the final say. For me, this issue is bigger than any current office holder or any political party. It is about accountability, civic participation, and ensuring the future generations have a meaningful opportunity to serve the community. I commend Councilmember Studley for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to be heard on this topic? Please raise your hand. Okay, I don't see any other hands raised at this point. So can I have a motion to close public hearing number 1?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. We're going to move on to public hearing number 2. Can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 2, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, public hearing number 2. Notice of public hearing, the application for a special use permit, 16 Bottomer Street, home occupancy, hair salon. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, Section 400-78 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and a resolution adopted by the Town Board on June 1st, 2026. A public hearing will be held by the Town Board on June 15th, which is today, 2026, 7:05 PM local time, right here at Town Hall. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the application of Kelly Gale for a special use permit to operate a home occupation hair salon at 16 Bottomer Street, Lancaster, New York. Full opportunity to be heard will be given to all citizens and parties in interest. Copies of the application are available for public inspection at the town clerk's office during regular business hours. Does anybody here want to be heard during this public hearing? Please raise your hand. All right, well, come on up. Come on up, give your name and address, and go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Kelly Gale. I reside at 16 Bottomer. Just interested in having like a small little chair in my basement. I also work at a actual salon. It was really just for friends, family, and like friends of my family. Yeah, that's all I got.
So it's just requesting a special use permit?
Special use permit, sorry, yes, a special use
A chair at your home to operate?
Yeah, it's just in my
Great.
basement, like a one chair.
Okay.
I don't know.
Great. And so you know, we're required to have these public hearings for stuff.
Okay, I'm like, I've never done this before. I'm like,
Nobody's out to get you. so-
You're not on trial.
I know, I'm like, I don't know what you, I brought on my 1099s, all these things. But yeah.
You're well prepared.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
If
it.
anyone's looking for a hairdresser, she apparently...
I know, and if anybody's looking for a hairdresser. I said,
If anybody's looking for a hairdresser, she's available.
Okay, I have to ask this. Is there anybody else who wants to be heard on this particular public hearing? All right, no hands up there. Okay, so since we have no other hands up there, can I have a motion to close public hearing number 2, please?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
And on the roll.
Who was first?
Dawn.
Second. I moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, we're going to move on to public hearing number 3, LL Outdoor Lighting Law. Local law number 5, public hearing, local law number 5, establish an outdoor lighting law for the town of Lancaster. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to a resolution of the town board of the town of Lancaster adopted on June 1st, 2026, a public hearing will be held on the 15th day of June, 2026, at 7:05 PM at the town hall, right here, 21 Central Avenue, to hear all interested persons regarding local law number 5, establish an outdoor lighting law for the town of Lancaster. The purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their sentiments, concerns, or views which would benefit citizens of the town of Lancaster. All citizens who wish to be heard are urged to attend this public hearing. Copies of the proposed local law number 5 of the year 2026 will be available at the town of Lancaster clerk's office for inspection and distribution to any interested persons during business hours. What do we got?
Open.
Open what? Oh, we didn't do a motion to open it? How did you let that know? Can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 3? I thought we did that. All right, in a second?
Second.
There we go, and on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
You want me to read it again?
No.
No.
Yeah, sure, all right. All right, anybody want to be heard on public hearing number 3, please raise your hand. Yes, sir, come on up.
Hi, good evening. My name is Doug Firminger. I live at 10 Elm Place here in the village. So within the past 8 months, I have personally experienced 2 significant disturbances caused by excessive light at my residence, specifically involving issues of intensity, brightness, and glare spilling onto my property. Based on that firsthand experience, I would like to begin by commending the board for recognizing this growing concern and for taking the steps to address it. Those 2 specific issues were resolved, albeit somewhat convolutedly through a nuisance and some other things. But Matt Fischone and the mayor were involved in the village here, and then I've been talking to trustee Mike Coley, also of the village, to try to adopt something like this. I've been working on this for several months with them, and then this came up, so we said, hey, let's get together and talk to the board, let's express our opinion to the board here, and if you guys adopt it, then we're going to adopt something similar in the village. So that's my point here. So I looked at the draft legislation, though, and I sincerely appreciate the time and effort that went into it. It's clear, it's thoughtful, and it's well-intentioned, so I'm all for it. That said, I do have some concerns, particularly regarding the current provisions not fully accounting for modern lighting technologies like LED. That's really the one that's getting everybody right now, right? So the draft that I read had a whole bunch of subjective criteria about disturbing repose and sleep and these kind of things. And then it had one thing associated with limits on candle power at the property line. But I think that it goes a little bit beyond that. See, unlike the traditional lightings, incandescent and fluorescence, the light that's projected with these LEDs, without a proper shield and direction, it carries hundreds of feet. And it's very direct, it's very clear. There's clear lines of delineation. Most people now, when they're installing these things, just go and buy a bulb or something at Home Depot. They screw it into the socket, aimed as it was before, and the light's carrying all over the place. So the light intrudes squarely into other properties, even if the candle power measured at the boundary is at or near or less than what is required by the zoning code. So what I want to convey here is that it looks like even if something would be okay on paper for this, the way the code's written, it doesn't mesh with the experience of a homeowner. I mean, I'm hundreds of feet from the ones that I just experienced, and it was terrible across the lines. So I believe we should try to strengthen the legislation by incorporating additional clearly defined standards. So I've got a couple here. A prohibition on light trespass onto adjacent properties. Because these draw a clear line, you can see it on or off. It's not like the old incandescent lights which bleed all the way across and you can't tell where that light runs. You can clearly see it. Requirements for proper shielding. So that's a huge one, right? So people want to focus this light, and with a proper shield on it extending maybe 4 to 6 inches beyond the original cone of these fixtures, you can cut that light off really easily so as they can direct it where they want and keep it squarely on their own property. And then some type of standards addressing the aiming and direction. So what I'm finding is that in all these cases, the lights are projected out towards somebody else's property. Whereas if they changed how they projected the light from the outside of the property back toward their own house and shielded it to keep it from going from side to side, you wouldn't run into this situation where it's projecting onto other people's properties. So including all these elements, I think, makes it a little more comprehensive. It makes it a little more easily enforceable, and it's clear. It's black or white. It's not, oh, that's bothering my sleep. No, it's not. Buy some blinds, all this kind of stuff that went on with one of the issues I had. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And our attorney was taking notes, so thank you very much. Okay, anybody else wants to be heard on this topic, please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Hello, Kevin Leemaster, 720 Schwartz. I came to the board in December, the first meeting in December. Ms. Granicola, welcome. You weren't there. I'm just going to reiterate it real quick. I've got some photographs here. My neighbor decided to change the light on the front of the garage. It's not across the street from me. It is across the street and one house to the north, so it's not even directly in front of my house. I called them the next day, telling them that light is shining right through my house. It's a commercial light. They put up something that should be on the side of Home Depot. I talked to them, I don't know, multiple times, telling them I would pay for the light and have my electrician put up a different light that didn't affect the house. They've turned it down. The last time I talked to them, they basically wanted nothing to do with it. They're just going to leave the light there. And that's when I came to the town for this. Recommendations on that type of
work right there. If the light fixture itself, which I was going to try to show to them, but they refused to even walk over to my driveway and look at what I was seeing through my front door, which I have to block the windows on my door every night because otherwise it blinds me in my living room. I turned around and told them I'd pay for the light, but I was looking at something more like a street light lamp that would still illuminate all of their property in the front, but it would be a downlighting. Shields, like was mentioned from the other gentleman, turned them down, wouldn't even consider that, want nothing to do with it. So basically, I'm sitting here, just looking for the town to kind of resolve this. You drive by the house, you'll be able to tell which one it is. When I did talk to the homeowner, the whole reason, she said she wanted it so it would go across the street. She wanted it definitely across the street. Now, across from them is a vacant land that is owned by the neighbor of mine to the north. He likes to camp over there, and he likes to have bonfires over there, or campfires, whatever. So the reasoning for the light, I think, is kind of obvious to me, but the light itself is not proper, and I hope the town does something about it. Downlighting would be a big help. The looms, I really don't think is going to be a big thing as long as it's the direction of the light is down, and it cannot go past the road. You drive down Schwartz Road, you're going to know what house it is because it's going to blind you when you go by. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to be heard on this topic? Please raise your hand. I got somebody in the middle back there, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Janine Lucy. I live at 733 Shorts Road, across from Mr. LeMaster. I have been here, living here for over close to 40 years. This is my first town hall meeting I've ever had to come to. I've had no complaints. I am a citizen that has no problems. I have a dog fence. My dogs never get out of my yards. They are now gone. I don't have any more. I am 68 years old. I am retired. My husband is not retired, and he travels a lot. Yes, my garage light went out. I wanted a little more protection and a brighter light. I did get one. It wasn't even up 12 hours, and we get a phone call stating that my light is too bright. Even my husband came home the night before and said, Janine, I think our light's a little too bright. Can we tone it down? I do a lot of maintenance at my house. My husband isn't that talented. He has other talents, but he is not a maintenance man. I do a lot of that stuff. So yes, I adjusted the light and I turned the luminacy and everything down on it. I'm very nervous about this because, like I said, I've never done anything like this. And I'm very upset this is being brought up against me because I have tried. They called once, I adjusted the light, the lighting and the color of the light. They called a couple days later, the same thing. It's still too bright, whatever. I said, okay. I turned it down, I went up there, and I adjusted it again. 4 times I adjusted the light. They finally came back again, and they said, you're not getting the point. It's shining out, you have to tip it down. Okay, I am trying to be a good neighbor and accommodate them. I drilled new holes in my house, I put a 2x4 behind it, and I angled it down. I have pictures here. The light doesn't even go to my lamppost. I can't even see the end of my driveway with that light on. I'll have pictures here. I have neighbors. This is the light. This is the light that I have on my garage door. As you can see, I have a neighbor right here. They have no complaints. This is the yard in front of me. This is the view in front of my house and the drive. There's nobody in front of there right now. It's a vacant lot. These are my neighbors, other neighbors on the other side. Right next to me, I've asked them all the time, is this light bothering you? She goes, we have no problem with it. The neighbor across the street where I can see his TV wherever, I walked over, I said, I'm getting a complaint about this light. Is there a problem? Am I causing you anything? No. I then went to the town because I knew I didn't want any problems. I wanted to stay in compliance with any ordinances or anything. I came here and spoke to the inspector. I said, is my light, I even had the light itself, the box showing it exactly what the light is. Here are more pictures. He said, no, there's nothing, there's no problem. You can have whatever light as long as it's not shining directly into someone's house. It's not. This is where the LeMasters live, and that's what they're calling. So I just wanted to say, I have tried, just shows, I then took a 2x4, added extra long bolts, and put extra holes in my house. Like I said, I've adjusted 4 times, I've altered it on myself, drilled holes in my house. I have tried everything to accommodate them. This is how it looks at the nighttime. You can't even see my center island in my front yard. I am trying to be very accommodating. I've done all I could. He did offer an electrician. He sent me pictures of different lights. It's like, when does it come to the point where I say, no, I'd like to go further. I'm accommodating what I want in my house for my protection. My husband travels a lot. I now lost most of my dogs. I don't have any dogs in my house. So I just wanted it. And I feel I've compromised a lot. And I'm sorry to all the residents if this is being forced because of something I did, but I really tried to accommodate them. And how did I not accommodate?
Ma'am, address the board, please.
I don't know how else I could have accommodated them. I can't turn the light any further down. It's as low as it will go. So that's all I can do. And like I said, it doesn't even go to the end of my driveway. I have it tipped down. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I just wanted to bring these pictures as I let you off. And the only way, I'll be honest with you, the only way I found out about this is I was on Facebook and I saw someone at Lancaster having comments about lighting for the town. I'm like, oh my gosh, a lot of public stuff. And I looked on the public thing and it says, someone mentioned, it's all tried because
Sorry.
of my neighbor. And I feel terrible.
Thank you
And I'm
very
sorry.
much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Did you want-
I see a hand over there on the left-hand side.
You can take them.
Yes, sir. Come on up.
No.
Oh, you want your pictures back?
Thank you.
Here, man. I want to see him.
You want to see it?
Well, I was going to say.
Good evening. My name is Jay Marks.
Hang on one second. No problem.
Sorry.
M-A-R-K-S?
Let's keep them for reference. Sure.
Oh, you're going to keep it?
Is it M-A-R-K-S?
KS. Yes. MARKS.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I live on Sawyer Ave, and I am a theatrical lighting designer. Some of you probably recognize me from hanging out at the back of the building here. I decorate my house throughout the year with LED lights, mostly pointing at my house. They do not disturb my neighbors. They do not go off my property. Will I be affected by this light? Because 1 candle foot power is infinitesimal. I mean, if you're talking 1 candle foot power, you're talking smaller than what is in a child's nightlight in a bedroom, over 20 feet, 40 feet. So I'm just wondering, I mean, I can show you a picture of what I do to my house throughout the year. I celebrate Sabres, the Bills. You know, I'm not just like the Christmas shop, the Christmas houses. All the different holidays, Halloween. So I'm just wondering, to what extent is this law going to affect my enjoyment of my house?
Brad, would this fall under the holiday decorating portion of the law? Like where they?
I'm not sure. I don't know if Matt.
But it's more off your property than right onto your house?
Yeah, I believe it's more off your property than on your property, and your stuff seems
Right within your.
more turned down than coming off, but yeah, we're here to hear from the public tonight.
Brighter and it's LED, as most theatrical equipment has nowadays, and I'm using the equipment that I have in my possession.
Yeah.
So, you know, I decorate a lot of different houses throughout the year in different areas, and we're not talking Christmas lights, we're not talking the little baubles at the top of the roof. You know, I'm wondering if I'm allowed to decorate things like that. Sorry, I'll get closer to the microphone. Of course, I know I have a voice that carries. So I'm just wondering how that would be affected and how I would be affected by the law.
I think holiday.
So Sawyer Avenue is in the village of Lancaster? This local, right?
I believe so.
So this local law is going to affect the town of Lancaster.
So this isn't going to affect you at all?
So it doesn't affect
No.
me at all? Okay.
But it doesn't look like
And that
it's,
style of lighting looks like it would fall under the exemption of holiday
Well,
lighting.
the thing is that when you say holiday lighting, which holiday?
Right.
You know, is it a Sabres holiday? Is it Bill's holiday? You know, I just like to support and make people feel good. Plus, I do enjoy lighting up my house so that I see when I can come home doing the different hours that I work. So,
Thank you very much.
Just my question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to be heard on this topic? Please raise your hand, sir, in the middle.
Greetings, member of the board. I appreciate this time. Some of you I have met in the past, some of you I haven't. Everyone here, some of you I know in the audience, and my fellow residents. 4 years ago, I came and addressed the board.
Full name and address, please.
Kenneth Krug on Lake Avenue. 4 years ago, I addressed the board about something called light trespass. Light trespass is a form of light pollution where unwanted artificial light spills from one property to another, invading living spaces or yards. It often involves poorly directed floodlights or security lights. I like to call it white noise.
Mr. Krug, you're going to address the town board at this point. Thank you.
Basically, I've already addressed the board on this subject. I've been going for 6 years now that my neighbor put the spotlights on the back of their house. As you can see by the photos, they clearly bleed across my property line. They hit my trees in the backyard. They go across the entire property. I also have a neighbor on the other side who also has spotlights on their house. When both neighbors have their spotlights on, it crosses my entire yard and literally illuminates the entire thing. I can tell you that waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, which many of us do after 50 years old, they maybe go to the bathroom, and looking out in the back of my yard and seeing this light, I cannot go back to sleep. And I can tell you that if you look at the effects of this type of lighting, disruption of sleep is the first thing that it tells you. So, in closing, I'm going to let you guys look at these pictures. And I just simply ask, the one thing I did not see in the wording that was brought to the attention of everyone, if you want to say, I did not see the word light trespass anywhere in that
We have that. No.
at all.
Okay.
It's not in there at all. And it's a very important word, or not, it's an important term. It's very easily found if you do a Google search. The words I just said are exactly what it says every time. So anytime you have to explain it to somebody, you can say, light trespass. You're trespassing on their property with your light. I mean, that's as easy as you can make it for somebody to understand. And I appreciate this time.
Thank you very much. You want your pictures back? And do we have anybody else who wants to be heard on this topic? Please raise your hand. Ma'am? Who else was in the back there, just so I know for the, okay.
I'm in the village, so that you said that this is going to affect the town, correct? Yes. Okay. I guess my concern is that if you pass this in the town, how much longer does it take to cross over into the village? My concern is that this is a slippery slope. If someone is complaining that your light is too bright, but maybe it's not too bright to me, maybe it's crossing my line, maybe it's not, I think that's going to create a lot of distress for people. It sounds like some of you are trying to work it out, so that's great. But, and then what's the punishment? Am I fined? Does someone come take down my lights? Are we wasting time with the police? They shouldn't be answering calls like that.
Could you give us your name and address again?
Yes, Claudette Kane,
Thank you.
You got it? Okay. I guess really that's my concern because, I mean, this gentleman came over here asking if he could put up his holiday lights. No one's going to tell me I can't. Okay, and I'm mindful of my neighbors, and I have had neighbors with light problems, and we've worked it out. So I'm fortunate that way, but this is going to open up a can of worms if this gets passed. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Gentleman in the back?
Hello.
How you doing?
So just
name and address, please.
address.
Yes, sir.
David Young. I'm on Cambria Street in the Village. I just found out about this whole thing tonight when I got home from work, and I thought it was crazy. There shouldn't be any laws over lighting. I mean, I saw the wording. It said candle foot or some nonsense like that. That's barely any light. You're not going to be able to keep your property lit up to make sure nobody's out there, you know, in your property. We've been having, I mean, I'm in the Village. We've been having more car break-ins and all kinds of nonsense like that. You're just inviting more invasions into your domicile, you know, just because you got a couple crybabies who can't work their problems out amongst themselves because they want to be unreasonable. Shouldn't be making new laws over something like this. This is the stupidest thing. I haven't even had a chance to get out of my work clothes, but I saw this and I said, it's retarded. We can do better than this, guys. Come on, you know, seriously. Sorry, but thank you very much.
Anybody else want to be heard? Anybody else want to be heard on this topic? Raise your hand.
Hello, my name is Dawn Schmidt. I live in the Village on Harvey Drive. This is my first time here. I'm very nervous. Like the other gentleman, I just got wind of this and I was upset, so I ran down here. I don't have a clear understanding of what exactly is going on. Are you taking our lights completely away? We have to shut our lights off between 10 and 7 a.m. I agree with the other neighbor. When you start in the town, it's going to trickle down to the Village. I am worried because I've had somebody try to break into my car already. I reported to Lancaster. They wanted nothing to do with it. They said that they're aware of the break-ins and they know about this. This is happening more and more in our neighborhood, and I feel safer with my lights on. So I guess, can you explain, like, I know I'm late, what exactly does this mean?
Do we have a copy of the proposed law, or where we can get that online, correct?
It's on the website.
It's on the website?
It's on the website. If you go to the government town board meetings, go to pre-filed resolution for June 1st, and the whole
I
local
feel like we
laws
could do
there.
better. It's like loops and hoops to find information. I didn't even know where to come. I'm going elevator up, down. Oh. So
Well, I think also is it's more direct light, constant. So we have security around the house with lights, but they're off. Tell you the truth, twice in our yard, in our driveway, it didn't matter. They had a mask on, cameras on them, hot HD with a light.
could you imagine if we had no lights on?
Right, but then after a while, then it goes off. And I think it's more of a direct light constantly on other properties. And I think that's where we're trying to get to, not saying you can't enjoy the Savers, the Bills, Christmas or whatever.
Something that's keeping somebody awake at night.
I know, but I feel like where does it stop? You're going to start with this and you're taking stuff away. I mean, this is our property. Our assessments got raised.
Like they said, it's a slippery slope. It's something that has to be looked
Yeah.
at. That's the purpose of this public hearing, is to see where things and where people stand
Right.
on it. There's no decision being made tonight on whether this law is being passed or not. This is to get a feel for where the constituents feel about it.
And when
A lot
will
of
next
good points
meeting
have
on
been
this
made,
be?
so.
And the good news, you're in the Village, municipal home rule, they make their own laws. So
Yeah,
again,
but
this doesn't
when
affect
it
them.
starts somewhere, it's going to, that's what we worry about. But thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else want to be heard on this topic? Okay, seeing no other hands up, can I have a motion to close public hearing number 3? Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
And on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, at this point in time, we're going to move on to persons who Folks, listen up, please. Persons who want to address the town board on any of the pre-filed resolutions only. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any pre-filed resolutions for a total period of 30 minutes. Please be advised. Please raise your hand, be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience. Using the microphone provided, speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants the speaker an extension of the time limit, and any unruly activity will result in expulsion from the meetings. Do we have anybody who wants to be heard on our 19 pre-filed resolutions? Please raise your hand at this point. Yes, sir.
You don't have to stay.
No, you guys are all good.
You're good.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead, really.
Come back anytime.
Paul Nosbich Jr. I live on Newell in the village of Lancaster.
Hey, folks, can I have it quiet in the back, please? Thank you very much.
Shall I start over, Diane?
We got it.
Supervisor Larry, can I talk about number 7 strictly to you?
We're going to listen to what you have to say
Okay.
for 5 minutes.
Set public meetings about the unsafe buildings. Is that also a house? I read up, a house is a single-unit residential building. So does that include the unsafe buildings, abandoned houses, like the one across from my house?
Matt?
Again, this is a hearing to consider a town local law, and I don't believe it applies to the village.
To the village, yes, it doesn't apply to the village, it's for the town. So it wouldn't affect, you live in the village.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I know
so it
the
wouldn't affect
the town inspector inspects the building, correct?
Yeah, but there's different laws between the
Okay.
village and the town.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you,
No problem.
Supervisor.
Anybody else want to be heard on any of the pre-filed resolutions? Okay, seeing no other hands raised, we're going to move on to start. We already did our official reports, town committees. We're going to move on to the resolutions, and the first one is mine. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held June 1st, 2026 be and are hereby affirmed. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. 1 second, okay. Resolution number 2, be it resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered paid from their respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office, to wit, check run number 0615-2026, total amount hereby authorized to be paid, $1,092,248.22. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer resolution number 3. Resolved that the following building permit applications be and are hereby reaffirmed. Now therefore be it resolved that the building permit applications herein coded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster at any future date reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner. There's 91 total, 65 in the town and 26 in the village.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 4. Whereas a vacancy exists in the town of Lancaster Police Department due to the retirement of Detective Mark Fowler, and whereas Police Chief William Gummo, by letter dated May 29, 2026, has recommended the promotion of Connor Blizzard to fill this vacancy, and whereas Connor is qualified and eligible for this appointment pursuant to the New York State Civil Service Law, now therefore be it resolved that Connor is hereby appointed to the position of detective in the town of Lancaster Police Department effective September 1, 2026, and be it further resolved that this appointment is contingent upon approval by the Erie County Department of Personnel, and be it further resolved that this appointment and its corresponding salary shall be governed by all applicable provisions of New York State law and the current collective bargaining agreement between the Town of Lancaster and the Cayuga Club Police Benevolent Association, and be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Is Connor with us this evening? Connor, stand up. Connor, congratulations on your promotion. Obviously, you've been with us for a while, and we appreciate everything you're doing and keeping our streets safe. So again, thank you very much for what you've done, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Number 5 and 6, Councilmember Studley.
Thank you, Mr.
If you want, we can take pictures after we get done with the town board meeting. Up to you. Go ahead, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer resolution number 5, whereas the town board held a public hearing on June 1st, 2026 pursuant to the special event permit application for Summerfield Farm Neighborhood Block Party, and whereas all persons interested in speaking for or against the issuance of said special event permit were given an opportunity to be heard. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board that the special event permit for Summerfield Farms Neighborhood Block Party is hereby approved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
And resolution number 6, whereas the town board held a public hearing on June 1st, 2026 pursuant to the special event permit application for the 48th annual Bob Pisa Memorial 10K race, and whereas all persons interested in speaking for or against the issuance of said special event permit were given an opportunity to be heard, now therefore be it resolved by the town board that the special event permit for the 48th annual Bob Pisa Memorial 10K race is hereby approved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 7. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing before the town board of the town of Lancaster in the county of Erie shall be held at the Lancaster Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, New York, on the 6th of July, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. for the purpose of hearing all persons interested in the proposed local law of the year 2026, amending the code of the town of Lancaster, Chapter 115, unsafe buildings to include property maintenance. Be it further resolved that the town clerk is directed to publish a notice of this hearing in the Lancaster Bee, town's official newspaper, and on the town bulletin board at least 10 days prior to the hearing date. Post a copy of the notice as required by law no later than the date of publication. Notify all interested parties by mail pursuant to general municipal law and town law at least 10 days prior to the hearing. Be it further resolved that the town clerk shall make copies of the proposed law, unsafe buildings and property maintenance, available at the town clerk's office for public inspection and distribution during regular business hours. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the, did we have a second? No.
Whispered.
Sorry.
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer resolution number 8, whereas the town board held a public hearing on June 15th, 2026 upon the application of Kelly Gale for a special use permit for a home occupation on premises located at 16 Bottomer Street, whereas all persons for and against such special use permit were given an opportunity to be heard, and whereas Matt Fiscione has recommended the issuance of this special use permit with conditions per his letter dated May 18th, 2026, now therefore be it resolved as follows, that pursuant to the code of the town of Lancaster, the town board hereby grants a special use permit to Kelly Gale for a home occupation at 16 Bottomer Street under the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for a period beginning June 15th, 2026 and ending June 14th, 2028. And the second one is the applicant shall maintain strict compliance with all conditions set forth in the code of the town of Lancaster, as well as the following specific conditions for as long as the applicant engages in this home occupation on the premises, and there are 6 conditions listed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 9, whereas William Shutt Associates, P.C., the Town of Lancaster's consulting engineer, by letter dated June 3rd, 2026, has requested that the town board authorize an invitation to bid for the Lancaster Opera House staircase and sidewalk reconstruction project, Town Hall front entrance within the town of Lancaster. And whereas the town board has given due review and consideration to the request for the Lancaster Opera House staircase and sidewalk reconstruction project and deems it in the public interest to invite public bids in conformance with General Municipal Law, Section 103 of the State of New York, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby invites public bids for the Lancaster Opera House staircase and sidewalk reconstruction project, with said bids to be in conformance with the plans and specifications available for public inspection beginning June 17, 2026 at the following locations: Avalon Documents Service and William Shutt Associates, 37 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York. Digital plans and specifications can be viewed and physical or digital copies purchased via the Avalon Buffalo Plan Room. Again, www.avalonplanroom.com. Be it further resolved that the bids must be received in the office of the town clerk, right here at 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, no later than 10 a.m. local time on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, at which time they will be publicly opened and read aloud thereafter. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 10, Councilmember Burkhart, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I'm offering Resolution 10 for adoption. Whereas Martin Patel, 6647 Transit Road, has applied to the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster for a permit for private improvements upon real property in the Town of Lancaster within 6647 Transit Road. And whereas the Town Engineer of the Town of Lancaster has certified on the following permit application that he has reviewed the improvement plans and permit application for the installation of the private improvements requested, and that they conform to the ordinances of the Town of Lancaster. Now therefore be it resolved that private improvement permit application number 871 for 6647 Transit Road in Lancaster, which is a permit for private improvements for stormwater management located southeast corner, 65 linear feet of 8-inch storm pipe, 20 by 105 feet sand filter basin, square foot of asphalt pavement.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Anicola, number 11, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. Whereas PM Pavement submitted a rezone application for an 88.13 acre parcel located at 351 Pavement Road in the town of Lancaster to rezone the parcel from general industrial to residential for the proposed 96 lot single-family subdivision received by the town of Lancaster Building Department February 25th, 2026. Whereas the planning board did not have a recommendation for the town board at the April 15th planning board meeting on the requested rezoning of the 88.13 acre parcel, whereas the town board voted 2 in favor and 3 against on the resolution to deny the rezone at the June 1st town board meeting? No, it's opposite, actually.
That's opposite.
It should be voted 2, it should be 3 in favor and 2 against.
Correct.
To deny the reason, okay.
And 3 again.
Now therefore be it resolved that the town board in the town of Lancaster hereby refers the general industrial to residential rezone application with the 96 family subdivision sketch plans back to the zoning board for additional data per chapter 400 of the zoning board laws.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, basically, the way it was voted on, it wasn't passed, it wasn't really denied. They got to go back to the planning board at this point and start all over again to apply for the rezone again, so that's where they're going. On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 12, whereas by letter dated June 8, 2026, John Trojanowski Executive Director for the Town of Lancaster. Youth Bureau has recommended the appointment of the following individual to a part-time temporary seasonal position for the Youth Bureau Summer Theater Program. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individual is hereby appointed to the following part-time temporary seasonal position at the Lancaster Youth Bureau for a period not to exceed 5 months. As this is a part-time position, it provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees. Deborah Selzler, thank you, tutor, at a pay rate of $17.50 an hour, effective June 15th, 2026. Be it further resolved that this appointment is contingent upon the successful completion of all pre-employment background checks, the filing of appropriate paperwork with the supervisor's office, attainment of required New York State certifications, and completion of all new hiring training programs and town policy acknowledgments. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second? Second. On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 13, whereas Carmen Ciccarelli, Park Crew Chief for the town of Lancaster, by letter dated June 8th, 2026, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the position of part-time temporary seasonal in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for the spring-summer season of 2026. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board hereby appoints the following individuals to part-time temporary seasonal position in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for a duration not to exceed 5 months. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people being hired as recreation attendants, and 2 laborers ranging in salary from $16 an hour to $18.50. Effective date for all of them is June 29th, 2026. Be it further resolved that these positions are part-time and carry no health insurance, sick leave, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees. And be it further resolved that these appointments are contingent upon the successful completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the supervisor's office, New York State required certifications, new hire training programs, and completion of town policy acknowledgments. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Okay, resolution number 14. Whereas change order number 1 has been submitted by Digco Incorporated, 21 Palmer Place, Lancaster, New York, to increase the contract amount by $62,500 to include the required concrete slab for the bleachers at Walden Pond Park Turf Field. Whereas a description of this work has been previously provided to the town board for their review and approval. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves change order number 1 from Digco Incorporated, adjusting the project financials as follows. All required concrete slab for bleachers. The original contract sum was $35,000. The contract sum will be increased by this change order in the amount of $62,500. New contract sum is $97,500. Be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola.
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Schroeder, number 15, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 15. Whereas a request for quotes was sent to contractors to supply, repair, and install new coating for the main pool deck at Kiza Park, which project is part of a recently awarded community development block grant. And whereas the town's consulting engineer, Edward Schiller, solicited quotes for the necessary repair work, receiving and reviewing only one competitive quote, and whereas Ed Schiller has reviewed the submissions and recommends awarding the work to Buffalo Concrete Coatings for providing the lowest responsible quote in the amount of $34,108. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby awards the request for quotes for Kiza Park pool deck repair work to Buffalo Concrete Coatings for an amount not to exceed $34,108 in accordance with the specifications on file in the office of William Shutt Associates. And be it further resolved that the expense for said project shall be paid for from budget line 17180-211, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the contract contingent upon the town attorney's receipt and approval of all required documents, New York State certifications, and insurance certificates.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, the money for this is coming from the CDBG money that we got from the county, and very happy to have it, and we thank the county for that. On the roll?
Excuse me. Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 16, whereas the town justices for the town of Lancaster by letter dated June 9, 2026, have recommended the appointment of Raymond R. Fisher of Lancaster, New York, to fill the open position of court officer part-time permanent for the town of Lancaster Justice Court, and now therefore be it resolved that the following individuals hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent position in the town of Lancaster Justice Court, working no more than 19 and a half hours per week, contingent upon approval by the Erie County Department of Personnel, and this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees. And Ray Fisher will be receiving $23.17 an hour starting June 15, 2026. Be it further resolved that this appointment is contingent upon successful completion of all pre-employment checks, the filing of appropriate paperwork with the supervisor's office, the acquisition of required New York State certifications, the completion of new hire training programs, and the acknowledgement of town policies. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Ray's not with us tonight, is he? No? Okay. Resolution number 17, Councilmember Anacola.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. Whereas the Twin District Volunteer Fire Department, by letters received June 11, 2026, has requested the addition of one member and the deletion of one member to the roster of said fire association. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby confirms the addition to the membership of the Twin District Volunteer Fire Department the following individual: Hunter M. Borski. Be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby confirms the deletion to the membership of the Twin District Volunteer Fire Department to the following individual: Brian Nosbish.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder? I'm sorry. Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 18. Whereas a vacancy exists in the town of Lancaster Police Department due to the upcoming retirement of Captain Jeffrey Smith, and whereas by letter dated June 11, 2026, Police Chief William Gummo advised that Captain Angela Greco will transition from patrol captain to captain of the Detective Bureau to fill the open position, and whereas Lieutenant Andrew Spire has been selected to fill the open vacancy for patrol captain, and whereas Lieutenant Andrew Spire is qualified and eligible for this appointment pursuant to the New York State Civil Service Law, now therefore be it resolved that Lieutenant Andrew Spire is hereby appointed to the position of patrol captain in the town of Lancaster Police Department effective June 30th, 2026. Be it further resolved that this appointment is contingent upon approval by the Erie County Department of Personnel, and be it further resolved that this appointment and its corresponding salary shall be governed by all applicable provisions of New York State law and the current collective bargaining agreement between the town of Lancaster and the Cayuga Club Police Benevolent Association. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Andrew, where are you? Once again, thank you for your service to the town of Lancaster, all the good you've done to this point and all the good you will continue to do. We appreciate you stepping up and taking care of the rest of us while we're sleeping at night. You guys are working your butts off, keeping us safe, and the rest of the day as well. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, Tom Wolf, for support.
You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Are you doing that part as well? Is this for both of us? Chief, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Are we recognizing Captain Greco as well at this point? Or is this two people in one, or is it just for the one person?
No, she's just sliding over to the girl.
Okay, you want to be recognized? Okay. Good. Because if you want, we'll take a moment. Okay. All right, resolution number 19. Whereas on February 17, 2026, the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster adopted local law number 2 of the year 2026, establishing a temporary moratorium on certain land use applications and approvals within designated historic hamlet areas of the Town of Lancaster. And whereas the Town Board would like to appoint an additional member to the moratorium committee, and such commission shall be served without pay and be designated as following: Sheila Malik, Bowmansville, New York. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster appoints Sheila to the moratorium committee on certain land use applications and approvals within designated historic hamlet areas of the Town of Lancaster effective June 15, 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola? Yes. Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, at this point, we're going to do the presentation of communications by the town clerk. Number 331 and 332, received and filed. Number 333, code enforcement. Number 334, received and filed. Number 335, town attorney, as is 336, 337, 338, and 339. Number 340 and 341 and 342 are received and filed. Number 343, code enforcement, as is number 344. 345 was a resolution tonight. 346 is received and filed. 347 is a resolution tonight. 348 received and filed, as is 349. 350 resolution tonight, as is 351. 352 received and filed. 353 received and filed. 354 through 356 received and filed. 357 town attorney. 358, 359 were resolutions tonight. 360 and 361 received and filed. Okay. Now we come to persons who want to address the town board. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any town of Lancaster subject for a total period of 30 minutes. Please raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Any unruly activity will result in expulsion from the meeting. Do we have anybody who wants to address the town board on any subject matter? Come on up. Yes, right here.
My name is Heidi Young. I live at 11 Graceway. I started coming to this meeting back in February when I was having problems with my neighbor next door, 9 Graceway, and I feel like we've been heard. I feel like things are moving, and I feel grateful for all the support we've gotten from the town board. But we are continuing to have an issue, and most recently as yesterday, with my neighbor next door with her dumping material into the sewer system. This is her 3rd time that she's dumped materials out of her home into the sewer system. I have now a stain that goes from the end of my driveway 3 feet out into the street. I don't know what it is. I can tell you I think it's raw sewage, but I certainly don't know for sure. This is her 3rd offense, and she clearly doesn't care that she's breaking a code. She really doesn't care. She's doing this under the cover of night, and now this amount of drainage has gone past my house, past 7 other homes in the neighborhood into the sewer drain. And I have a nice, clean, clear path coming from her house into the drain. So I don't know what this is. I can tell you what it smells like. I can tell you what it feels like. I can tell you what it looks like. But I need more help. I need more help. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what that is, so I'm scared to walk across it. Is it sewage? Am I going to track it into my home? Or what if a child falls on it, puts a hand into the face? What are we doing? She clearly doesn't care about anybody in this neighborhood or anybody in this town because she continually violates these orders, and I really don't think she cares. So I care. I live there. I live next door. I care. I care a lot about my community. And I'm doing all the right things. I'm talking to all the right people. I need more help. I need her to stop. I need to find out what she's dumping. I want it tested. I want to find out what kind of risk I'm at, what's in now into my groundwater. I want to know what's into my property now. I want to know. I have a right to know, and I just need help. I just need help. I don't know what else to do. I need help. We need help.
Matt, where do we stand? What's going on?
I received a voicemail, and I apologize for the exact time, 2:47, 3:45, somewhere around there.
Late this afternoon.
I was out doing other things, and I got back into the office preparing for a moratorium committee meeting, and I returned the phone call
You did.
to understand exactly what it was. Fortunately, we did have law enforcement go out there, and I went out there probably at about 10 to 5 just to document what was actually happening there, and I can assure you, it's sewage.
It is sewage.
Outside of the house, down the
It's
driveway,
disgusting.
into the street, all the way down to the stop sign at the intersection. I've
Okay,
got the photographs. A notice of violation was issued on April 28th, I believe, at the first incident. I wasn't made aware of the
Because
second,
the
but
second happened just the next day.
whatever that
then
time frame was.
She only stopped when the police made her stop.
Understood. And as of tonight, I've logged that the failure of that inspection related to that complaint. Tomorrow morning, we'll issue another appearance ticket to appear in front of the village courts. This is an illicit discharge in the stormwater system and unsanitary conditions for that building.
Okay, so how do we stop her from doing it?
Well, I mean, other than making a civil arrest, how do you stop her from doing? That's up to the attorneys and the courts to determine. We can revoke the certificate of occupancy, but that comes at public hearings. As I said, tomorrow morning, we're going to issue the appearance ticket at the local courts.
Okay.
And the other parameters that are dealing with the interior of the building. I'm not sure where that's at right now, and I will inquire. I mean, we have issues there. There's no doubt there's issues there. And to have sanitary discharge into the storm system, it violates the town speedies permit as well.
Okay,
That's gotta
Can
be
we get
county,
health
that's gotta
department
be a
involved
state
if
issue?
she's doing, like, who?
We could. I mean, that's, they can enforce their code at the health department level, but I believe we have enough information here to move forward to
What's
force
the
this.
next step for revoking her occupancy?
Well, I mean, I'd like to confer with legal counsel on the steps necessary to do that. And I can report back to this board and the entire community.
Yeah, I
This
think
happens
we
with-
should take this step to work
It happened,
on
it
revoking
needs to
her
happen like
occupancy.
yesterday.
at this
If
point.
you remove
Last
the
night.
C of O, does that allow you access to the inside
No,
of
it
the
just
property?
posts the building not to be occupied until it can be confirmed that the habitable conditions exist inside the building, which I'm convinced with this scenario.
Situation.
Something's going on there.
But
This isn't normal.
Does that allow you to get in there to approve the habitable conditions before you can give her the
Not
C of O
unless I'm
back?
invited by the private property owner to be inside that building.
So how do you deem, so if you remove the C of O, how do you deem it habitable that you can give her the C of O back?
I'm going to confer right now with legal counsel for the proper steps to take to achieve that end. I can't speculate on that right now.
Okay.
Okay, but the county, the state, I take it they would also be interested in this as well? Have we
They
reached
may
out?
be, but this is a local code enforcement issue, it's a local stormwater issue, and it's a local sanitary issue.
All right, well, after you talk to the attorney, let's figure out who's got more teeth. And call the county or the state, whatever it takes to get it done, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, no offense.
I came right after we
I
hung
know
up
you
the
did.
phone,
No,
and
there's no offense, and I
this is-
appreciate it.
this
It's just
is not
unfortunate
good.
that it's just like, talk is great. It's wonderful, but I just need something to happen. Because if I have raw sewage at the bottom of my driveway, I can't accept that for any length of time. For any length of time.
If it was as easy just to remove somebody.
I understand, I'm not
Yeah,
asking for any
there's always a
removal.
legal-
I'm asking that to stop. I'm not asking for her to get anything. I want this to stop. I want someone to force her to stop.
And Matt's taking all the steps.
I know,
It's just- I
all
know
that
it's
he
frustrating,
can.
but we're taking all the steps and we're trying to do it in an accelerated fashion as we can, but there's still, you still gotta confer legally.
What
I
time
get
of the
it.
day is this taking place?
Overnight.
Okay.
We had a lot of rain last 24 hours, right? So she's not stupid. And she doesn't care.
Chief,
So
How do we send police officers out to?
They were here today, and they were wonderful. And they
Yeah, I know, but again, if we know it's happening every night,
Get it taken care of.
okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, anybody else want to be heard?
Greg Soika, 19 Spruceland Terrace. I foiled a copy of the Drescher and Malecki audit of the Depew Lancaster Boys and Girls Club, and I reviewed it, and I have several questions. Councilmember Schroeder, you voted 4 times while you were a council member when you ran as a Democrat. Did you know of any illegal, suspicious, concerning, or non-compliance issues?
I didn't know of any issues at that time, no.
Okay. Supervisor Leary, while you were a councilman, you voted 4 times to approve funding to the Boys and Girls Club. Were you aware of any illegal, suspicious, concerning, or non-compliance issues?
No, at that point, it was not brought to my attention. As
Very
soon as
good.
it was brought to my attention, I took appropriate action.
When did you find illegal, suspicious, concerning, or non-compliance issues?
When I saw what was in the budget, when I became supervisor, I took a look at the budget, saw what was in there, and consulted with council.
When did you notify your fellow board members of this illegal, suspicious, concerning, or non-compliance?
I believe that was done actually in a executive session, but again, I can't talk about it any further than that.
When did you notify the members you were removing funding for the Boys and Girls Club from the town budget?
Don't remember the exact date.
But you did notify them before you put it for a resolution, correct?
Put it in for a resolution. I don't recall if we notified them first or put it in for a resolution up before the town board. There were public hearings that were held, and they were able to come to the public hearings.
Sir, I ask for transparency
I answered it
reason.
in the best possible way I can.
So no one in the audit that I saw used the words or implied anything was done illegally or concerning or suspicious. Are the auditors wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about, illegal or suspicious. They weren't brought in to look at things to determine if they're illegal or suspicious. We talked to the state comptroller's office about what we could do as a town, okay? And we followed their recommendations as to what we could do as a town. We have to be able to justify where that money's going to. The only way we could give it to them, which wasn't done in the past, should have been done in the past, was to run a town program through the Boys and Girls Club, and that's what we're in the process of doing.
I was at a meeting where you had a discussion with the leader of the Boys and Girls Club, and you kept stating that he was in non-compliance, and you sent him letters stating that. I did not see it in the audit summary. So is the Boys and Girls Club in non-compliance or doing something illegal, or were you incorrect?
I believe there were a couple of months where they were behind on the reports that they were supposed to be giving to the town. And I believe that's in the audit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to be heard on any subject? Please raise your hand. Yes, sir, come on up.
My name's Dan Vona. I live at 20 Graceway, across from 9 Graceway. Just to reiterate on what Heidi was talking about, there's got to be some environmental laws for what she's doing. Is that something that can be looked into? I mean, to get some environmental people involved in this? I mean, it's got to be illegal environmentally to put sewage down your driveway and run down the whole street to the drainage system.
Okay. So Matt is going to talk to our legal counsel, get the best way to handle it, but yeah, if they got more teeth than we got, I would prefer they do it that way as quickly as possible, but he is looking at it right now, and he will talk to our counsel.
Okay, and the other question I have is from a lot of the neighborhood was there at the court orders and stuff. Is there any updates on anything?
Yeah, it went out for bid to do the work outside the building, and Mr. Shutt, what's the date on that, when the bids are going to come back?
It is June 30th.
June 30th. So on June 30th, we will pick a company to move in and take care of the outside of the building.
Okay, and what are we looking at in the time frame there from that point?
I think we got to select the company, pick it, get them out there as quickly as possible. Depends who it is, what company it is, and we'll talk to them about getting out there as soon as we can.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Anybody else want to be heard on any subject, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no other hands raised at this point, we are going to go into an attorney-client privilege meeting in the back. Can I have a motion to do that?
Motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, on the roll.
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes, and before we do that, if the police officers want to get pictures up here, completely up to you. Feel we'll take a moment to do that. We always try to do that. Chief?
Copy this law to the buildings.